What is your American dream?
My American dream is to protect my kids the best way I know how, because they're black. I don't want to go inside because things can happen on the inside too. So I just want them to be respectable young men of the country and live on their dream. So that's my dream for them.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is February 16th, 2022. My name is Brad Bernstein. This is Bradshaw Live. And today is Hump Day. And somewhere out in the world of the clouds is we don't have Yo-Yo today. We have La Yo-Yo. La Yo-Yo. I don't hear La Yo-Yo.
You don't hear me?
I don't hear La Yo-Yo. Oh no, La Yo-Yo, there's no sound from La Yo-Yo. He's La Yo-Yo today because he's Los Angeles Yo-Yo. He's out in LA doing his LA thing with no sound.
And you can't, with no sound.
No sound in my ear. I don't read lips. I wish I knew sign language. I wish that perhaps we knew smoke signals. Morse code. How else can we communicate, Yo-Yo?
Hold on, let's see.
Let's see what Yo-Yo's going to do. He's going to go old school.
Did this work?
I hear a little bit of Yo-Yo now. A little bit of Yo-Yo.
A little bit?
Oh, now I hear you a little better. You got to get closer to the microphone, Yo-Yo.
Oh my gosh.
You need to get closer to the microphone. Like, get your nose into the microphone.
Like this.
What? Like, get your nose into the mic. How close can you get to the microphone? How silly can we make Yo-Yo today?
Okay, so... Okay, wait.
I hear you now better, but you're still not 100%. This is what we do. We go live and then figure it out, right? This is how we work here at Bradshaw Live.
All right, how about this? Is this better?
This is a little better, yes. What did you do?
Oh, okay.
No, now I don't hear
Nothing.
you. You went away from the microphone again.
It's not. I'm not moving. I'm doing the same thing.
I hear you, but faintly. Does the squad hear you?
All right, squad. How do you guys hear me?
Or is it a faint?
I'm hoping it's not a thing. Let's see what they
You're
still
right.
low,
So
but we can
everybody
hear.
hears him but me, but I can barely hear you. I'm also
Okay.
partially deaf. So it
Oh,
could be, I'm not really partially deaf, but sometimes I think I am. But it could be me, but maybe not.
Okay. They said they can hear me well.
They hear you well. Do they hear me?
Woo!
They hear La Yo-Yo.
Yes.
I like La Yo-Yo. I just came up with that.
I like that too.
La Yo-Yo.
Thank
You're
you.
out in LA. You're
So,
like Mr. Cool in LA, La Yo-Yo.
La Yo-Yo. I actually like that name.
I like it. We should even keep La Yo-Yo even when you're in New York. All right, we'll just keep La Yo-Yo for today since you're in LA.
Okay, all right.
All right, and by the way, everybody hears us very well. I'm the only one.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, I'm happy about that.
There was a Saturday Night Live skit way back before you were born, when I was a little kid. There's a guy on Saturday Night Live by the name of Garrett Morris. You don't even know who he is, probably. And this is from the original cast with John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, and he did a skit where it was like for the hearing impaired, and he would come on, as like the person, and you thought he was going to do the sign language, because he was going to be the hearing impaired person. So like, Bill Murray was doing the news, and he's like, I have the, to assist for the hearing impaired. And Bill Murray would read the news like the straight guy, and then Garrett Morris would be next to him, and he goes, "And in the news today." So that's what I'm expecting you to like. You have to be screaming for me to hear because I'm like hearing impaired today. All right, let's say hello to the squad. Squad up: Jewel Dell, Felicia Stone, Tammy Ives, It's Apple Pie. Squad up: Violet Blackwood. Squad up: Maureen McFarlane, Jessica Leamy. By the way, Jessica Leamy did the American Dream today.
I know.
Did you see?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved
and
it.
by the way, squad, wink, wink, you too we could feature you in our American Dreams too, and in our squad versus crew games. You just got to drop us DMs. We have the same. Have the same squaddies doing the games.
We do.
We need to diversify our squaddies.
We actually have a surprise. I can't say who it is, but we do have a new.
We have a new squaddie?
A new one.
Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah.
Wow. This is like very colorful backgrounds. I'm just noticing. This is brand new.
Yeah, I know. I saw that at first, and I was like,
whoa, where did this background come from? I'm like, what's going on here, right?
I know.
It's all new stuff today. Jessica Levy, squad up. We already called you out. Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Happy Hump Day to you as well. Beryl Iris, how are you? Squad up. And Niak Ikram. We're hearing, but you're echoing. Who's echoing, Niak? Is it me or La Yo-Yo? Who's the echoer?
La Yo-Yo.
La Yo-Yo's the echoer? We don't know. We'll ask him. Victoria Black. At first we were not hearing, but now we're hearing now. Everybody's getting a little different. Dawn Harriet, Brad, you are louder now. It's because I'm screaming. We didn't do anything to my mic. I just started to yell louder. And who else we got here? I think that's it. Jeremy Goldberg says, I'm perfect. Well, Yo-Yo's perfect. I'm not sure if Yo-Yo... Who's Jeremy saying is perfect? Maybe he's saying Julie's perfect. I don't know. Shan Smith saying, hey, Brad, squad family. Susie Q, squad up. Elisa Stone, squad up. How are you? Jessica Leamy, double fisting. Lola. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. You know that song?
I was about to say, I know that song.
It's Barry Manilow. I am really bringing back the 70s today.
Yeah, you are.
That's the only part of the song I know. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. After that, I don't know any of the other words. I know that part. But you know what? You know the song, right? All right. Daryl Winnebaugh, squad up. Lola said yes. Kevin Hunter and Katrina Chanel saying there's no echo. Yo-Yo, take it away.
All right, squad. Well, I'm so happy that you guys can hear me. Like I say every day, remember, I need you guys to share. This is on all social media platforms because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. He's going to fill us in on the latest news, including a new Human Rights Watch report that has immigrant rights group calling on the U.S. government to grant Cameroonians deported between 2020 and 2021 humanitarian parole to the U.S. And of course, today is some of y'all favorite day, Wednesday, which is Hump Day. So get ready for some Hump Day news, like finding out what's so special about tonight's moon. And Brad, what this means for sex and love.
There's a special mood for sex and love today.
Tonight.
Damn, I'm going to be single tonight. Damn, I'm going home alone tonight.
Oh, man.
Oh, well. And, of course, you can call... What?
I said I'm with the family, so I am too.
All right, the two of us. All right. Yeah. You can also call Smart Bernstein, 529-5465. Internationally, it's +1 212-227-8933. Inevitably, we are going to get a comment. Hey, how do you reach Brad? The number's scrolling at the bottom of the screen for the entire show. Just read the bottom. It says call Spar and Bernstein. Spar and Bernstein is the law firm in which I'm the president of. It's a sponsor of Bradshaw Live. It's the same telephone number to get on our show. And by the way, all our numbers are locked today already before even Schmooze starts.
Wow.
The number, we're all locked up. We're all locked and loaded, ready to go. 1-800-529-5465. 212-227-8933. And it is Fashion Week in New York City. So later in the show, we will see my visit with Cuban American fashion designer Odalys Marino as she was getting ready for her first New York City Fashion Week show. Can we go back to that picture for a second with me and Odalys? I want you to know that sweater that I'm wearing there, my blue sweater, that was the most comfortable sweater I have had. I had that sweater for like 10 years. My favorite. Oh, really? You have that one sweater that's your favorite.
And that's it.
And now I want you to know something. It's gone missing. It's gone missing.
Is it because you wore it so much and somebody took it away?
I don't know.
Like...
Ian, the TriCaster guy, he says it's the dry cleaner that stole it. The dry cleaner loved the sweater so much he just never gave it back. I said, it's possible.
Did your son like the sweater as well?
No, I've not seen him wear it. I gotta go to the dry cleaner and see if the dry cleaner, the guy at the counter is wearing my sweater.
He's wearing it?
Yeah. Like, hey, that's mine. All right, let's do Schmooze.
Let's do it.
All right. Human rights. There we go. Human Rights Watch said in a report released on Thursday that this is a sad story. Cameroonian authorities are subjecting dozens of asylum seekers deported by the United States to serious human rights violations. According to Human Rights Watch, people returned to Cameroon have faced arbitrary arrest and detention, enforced disappearances, torture, rape, and other violence, extortion, unfair prosecutions, confiscation of their national identifications, harassment, and abuses against their relatives. Many also reported experiencing excessive force, medical neglect, and other mistreatment in ICE custody in the U.S. This story came out about Cameroon, but this could be many, it's sad, extraordinarily sad, could be many countries. You know what happens, Jonathan, is when the United States deports people back to their particular country, many countries, they don't say, hey, welcome back, you're back in our country. They actually take you as a criminal because they say, oh, you got deported from the United States, you're a criminal, and then they put you in jail, and lots of abuse happens. It happens a lot, unfortunately. This just happens to be being, the spotlight they're putting on Cameroon right now, and maybe it's happening worse in Cameroon than it happens in other countries. But throughout my entire career, most immigration practitioners know that in many countries, when you get deported, you're not getting deported and like, oh, I'm on the beach the next day. No, you're in jail.
Right.
And you didn't do anything wrong. You got deported from a country, but you're now being treated like a criminal. Now, there's one thing putting someone in jail, is another thing torturing them. Cameroon, I think, is doing some pretty bad things to people getting deported, probably because they tried to claim asylum and said some bad things about the leaders there.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I feel like anybody who claims asylum is already kind of in it has a bad taste in the country that they're claiming it, against, because it's like you're going to another country and you're talking mess about what we're doing to you out here. So if U.S. just throws these people who are literally running for their lives right back to the people that they're running from, that's horrible. You know that they're going to be torturing them.
Yeah. Now the people interviewed were deported during the Trump administration with hardline immigration policies, narrowed access to asylum, racist asylum interviews, anti-migrant rhetoric, and those conditions in Cameroon have not improved. They were running from very poor conditions in Cameroon. The grant for asylum for protection of Cameroonians dropped to less than 24% between 2019 and 2020. Over 100 Cameroonians were deported in 2020. They're all, well, most of them are in jail. Many are giving reports of abuse, rape, and torture there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The Biden administration took a positive step by canceling a February 2021 deportation flight to Cameroon, although in October 2021 they did deport others. But this happens, sadly, this happens a lot. And it happens not just in Cameroon, in many countries. We're just putting the spotlight on Cameroon. You know, and for the United States to say we're not going to send somebody back to be tortured, but here they are sending people back to be tortured.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. Very, very sad. And on January 31st, the Biden administration, who said they were going to be the best administration for immigrants ever, they began expelling Venezuelan migrants to Colombia without any chance to seek asylum after entering the United States from Mexico. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security said it's going to expel Venezuelans to Colombia on a regular basis without elaborating on the frequency. They're basically saying if you have a Venezuelan and they're coming across the border, they're not going to get asylum, or they're all going to Colombia. And the reason is this. Most Venezuelans, by the way, Venezuela, those who are already here from Venezuela have temporary protected status. So you can't send people back to Venezuela because it's very bad conditions there right now. And many people are trying to escape, but how they escape is they escape across the border to Colombia and then make their way up to the United States. So what the United States is saying, as far as Venezuelans are concerned, they already have a safe haven in Colombia. They don't need a better safe haven in the United States of America. Now, Colombia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said a meeting was held in December to discuss the possibility of receiving Venezuelan deportees who had been granted temporary residency in Colombia. It said there was no specific figure on how many Venezuelans were being sent to Colombia, but both sides agrees that the operations are going to be conducted within the coordination of both the United States and Colombia. So Venezuelans trying to enter with asylum, it's a no-go across the Mexican border at this point in time. And on February 1st, Jonathan, Science and Technology Directorate, which is the research and development arm of the Department of Homeland Security, they released an announcement. I don't know if this should be a fuzzy Monday story or what, but released an announcement that's developed robot dogs to use at the border.
Lord.
Yeah. The company stated that the American Southwest is a vast region, and they're going to have robot dogs. How do these robot dogs work? Before moving into the use case phase, the robot dogs first went to a facility in Northern Virginia for the payload integration phase. The payload integration phase, so-called, are video and other sensory packages that, after being mounted onto the robot dog, can transmit real-time video and other data back to the human operating or monitoring it. It's basically just a robot with a camera on it, and they're calling it a dog.
Yeah, because of how it
looks. Yeah, it's not
looks,
really.
yeah,
I'm thinking like Astro from the Jetsons is jumping around.
But like this little robot came out like years ago. They showed like them showing it to different people. I don't know where it was at. I don't know if it was in Asia or something, but I remember it flipping and stuff. But we never knew what they were going to use it for. So now I guess we're finally finding out. This is. I don't know how I feel about this. After I saw iRobot,
I never saw iRobot. I never saw iRobot. Now critics say, by the way, the robot dogs are cruel and inhumane for use in border security. S&T says technology such as semi-autonomous drones are used effectively as force multipliers elsewhere, and robot dogs are no different. So basically what's going to happen is they're going to have these robots along the border. There's going to be an immigration officer in an office somewhere, and the robot's going to have cameras and be able to notify ICE officials or CBP officials if they see something that they shouldn't be seeing. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Meanwhile, you see what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, Yo-Yo?
No.
You don't even know.
No, what happened?
You see, the U.S., most Americans don't care what happens in the Ukraine. They don't really care.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't.
Yeah.
But
now, Vladimir Putin has 150,000 troops and Navy personnel surrounding the Ukraine. Ukraine is on the border between Russia and Ukraine. It's like Mexico and the United States. During the Cold War, Ukraine was part of the USSR. After the Berlin Wall fell and Gorbachev and Yeltsin and the Cold War was over, Ukraine has become a democratic country, fledgling democratic country, yet a democratic country. Since then, many countries around that area, including Poland and Romania, have joined North American Treaty Organization, NATO. NATO is the countries that have come together to collectively protect each other. France, Germany, UK, United States, Canada, Italy, Spain, all part of NATO. Now Poland and Romania. And as part of NATO, if any one country is attacked, they attack all the countries. That's the treaty. So they all come to the defense of one another. So now there's a situation where Putin is saying he doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO. Now, Ukraine has never going to be joining NATO for a very long time. So there's more to what's going on than Putin doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO. I'll tell you what my assessment of what's going on between the United States and Russia. And by the way, we don't want ever the United States and Russia coming to a war because we have nuclear weapons pointing at each other.
Yeah.
In 1972, Yo-Yo, I'm going to give you a brief history lesson so I can give everybody an idea exactly what's going on. In 1972, the United States and then the USSR signed a treaty, an anti-ballistic missile treaty. Anti-ballistic missile is basically missile defense. You shoot up a missile, we can shoot it down. They agreed not to make any military equipment that could shoot down a missile. Now, that doesn't make sense really, because you said, why shouldn't we ever be able to shoot down a missile? Well, the thinking was back in 1972, if Russia has 10,000 nuclear weapons pointing at us, we have 15,000 to 20, we had like double what Russia had pointing at them. It's mutually assured destruction. We would nuke each other and kill everybody. So because we have this mutually assured destruction, we're never going to go to war against each other, because we would never go to that point where we would kill world civilization. Jump ahead to 2005, President George Bush withdrew from the anti-ballistic missile treaty. He said the United States is now going to make military equipment that will be able to shoot down nuclear weapons if a nuclear weapon or a nuclear missile is shot off into the United States of America. Now, what makes Russia a world power is their nuclear weapons. If they don't have effective nuclear weapons, they're no longer a world power, because Russia doesn't have the size of the economy of the United States or the technology of the United States. Russia lives off their natural resources, and they have lots of nuclear weapons. That's what makes them a world power. So if the United States makes anti-ballistic missiles to shoot down Russian nuclear weapons and ultimately makes their nuclear weapons program moot, Russia's no longer a superpower, and the United States can go do whatever they choose to do in any country, including invade Russia. And what would Russia ever be able to do to stop them? Nothing. Because we have nuclear weapons, they don't, because we can shoot down their nuclear weapons. So in 2016, in Romania, which is now part of NATO, they have a military base with anti-ballistic missile systems. They're putting another one in Poland, which is supposed to go in operation in the next 9 months. Now, according to the United States of America, they say, we're not interested in shooting down Russian nuclear weapons. We're doing this to protect against the rogue nation, like Kim Jong-un in North Korea or Iran, who may now or in the future have the ability to shoot a nuclear weapon at us. So we're putting these facilities in Poland and Romania to be able to shoot down those weapons. We're not interested in Russian nuclear weapons. We know they're not going to, shoot weapons at us. But Russia doesn't know that. So now Putin wants NATO out of these countries, and they want these anti-ballistic missiles out of these countries, because otherwise Russia becomes no longer a superpower, because the United States has now the ability to shoot down Russian nuclear weapons like they have the ability to shoot down a nuclear weapon from Iran or North Korea. That's the concern Putin has. So he's making this big controversy that I'm going to invade Ukraine as a bargaining chip to get NATO to pull out their military equipment, and especially these anti-ballistic missiles, out of Eastern Europe. That's what's going on. How it's going to end, I have no idea. You get it, Yo-Yo?
I do.
So right now, they're still negotiating. I don't think Putin wants to invade Ukraine, but you never know. Because if Putin invades Ukraine, there's a war. There will be dead bodies going back to Russia. And just like in any country, if you have enough dead bodies going back to your country, because of a war, there's going to be unrest in the street. Why are we at war? Why is our men and boys coming back in body bags? Putin could be out of power too if the war doesn't go well for Russia. And you know what happens in Russia when you come out of power? It's not going to end well for Putin. He may not be alive. They can kill him. They can put him in jail. He has to stay in power till he dies. This guy.
Sheesh.
So I don't know what's going to happen. But this is all one big bluff to get NATO to get out of Eastern Europe. But they're not going to get out of Eastern Europe. So I don't know what's going to happen. But right now they say, at least in the news, that Russia's pulling back a little bit. And yesterday, Alec Baldwin got sued by the family of the Rust cinematographer Helena Hutchins. That's the woman he shot and killed on October 21st during a scene at the Bonanza Creek Ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Now, she left behind her husband, Matthew, and the couple's 9-year-old son. In addition to Baldwin, the suit named 7 producers, Ryan Smith, Alan Cheney, a whole bunch, and crew members. Somehow, a live round got into should have been a prop gun. And while they were practicing a scene, Alec Baldwin shot the gun thinking, or at least allegedly thinking, I don't believe he really believed there was a bullet in there, but allegedly thinking that it was a prop gun, and shot and killed this woman. There's a big difference. There's a big difference, though, Yo-Yo, between being sued civilly and then facing criminal prosecution. And the big difference between the two is this. In a civil case, you just have to say it's more likely than not that somebody was negligent. And obviously, it's more likely than not that somebody in this group was negligent. They sued everybody on the set. Okay, all the producers, the actor, everybody. So out of this group, they say, we don't know why this bullet got into the gun. It doesn't really matter. You guys figure out who's responsible, but somebody owes us money out of this group. Okay?
I can get it.
And that's going to be a winning case for them, obviously. The criminal case is much harder because you got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they committed a crime by doing this. Like there's
Are they trying to do a criminal case with Alec Baldwin?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
Wow.
Now, I used to like Alec Baldwin because I liked his Trump imitations on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
But on Instagram now, he's like making Instagram posts like nothing happened in his life. Which I don't understand. I mean, he just killed a woman a few months ago and he's like la-di-da-di-da going around the world. You know, and that's fine. You got to go live your life. You can't obviously sit home and, you know, mope in bed. So I get that. But at the same time, I think he's got to be a little more low key on what he's doing, what he's saying.
Yeah, but do we know like what he offered the family, if he talked to them, if he, you know, was in contact and, you know, tried to help out?
Well, I know he was very sympathetic to the family when it first happened. I don't know what's happening at this moment right now.
Right.
But somebody may face criminal liability. But
I think somebody should.
But the criminal liability is
there's
no doubt in my mind this person is responsible for the death of somebody, of Helena Hutchins. But there's a big difference between saying there's no doubt in my mind versus it's more likely than not something happened. That's the difference between civil and criminal. Now the production has a liability policy with a limit of $6 million. Gotta
be more.
Well, I don't know what the state law is in New Mexico. Okay? But in New York, I can tell you what the law says in New York. The law says in New York, if there's negligent death, which is what this case is, the value of the case is the lost earning potential of the person who died, plus their pain and suffering from the time that they got shot to the death. So she has pain and suffering from being shot by a bullet. I think she died relatively fast, within hours. She wasn't in the hospital for weeks and weeks and weeks. So the value of the case in New York, I'm not 100% certain what the law is in New Mexico, but if this happens in New York, and the laws are more or less the same around the country, the value of the case in New York is her pain and suffering for several hours being shot by a bullet and whatever money she would have earned in her career over her lifetime. Now, maybe she would have earned $300,000-$400,000 a year, $500,000 a year, and she's 40, you know, so that's, you know, $10-12 million in, you know, lost earning potential plus pain and suffering. They're underinsured. But these producers all have money. Alec Baldwin has money. You know, they'll all eventually file for bankruptcy if ultimately the settlement and verdict goes well above the $6 million, which potentially it could.
Yeah, I think that, you know, that would be fair, because that took an innocent life away while she was doing her job.
And in coronavirus news, Yo-Yo, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said at a White House briefing that COVID-19 infections, hospitalizations, and deaths are all declining, and that federal health officials could ease guidance on masks very, very soon. I can't wait to get rid of the mask.
They just did here in California yesterday.
I can't get rid. I feel terrible for. I mean, you think about what we've gone through and look back in retrospect. And by the way, I was the first person to be wearing masks and saying we have to quarantine and blah 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 blah. But you look back, quarantining didn't help one bit. You know, the fact that they made you quarantine, statistically, it did not save any lives. The same number of scientifically they said the same number of people have died. That's what they're coming back with now. There's a nominal amount of people who were saved by the entire country quarantining. And
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just my thoughts. I feel like when the virus hit New York and we were just like, you know, blowing up in the numbers over any other state in the US, and then we quarantined. We were like one of the first ones who were like, okay, everything is shut down. And our numbers went lower than every single other state.
But did you also notice that, but that was the ebb and flow of coronavirus to begin with. Omicron, we didn't really quarantine. Goes up, goes down. That's been the history of all of the variants. You have a spike and it goes down. And I'm just telling you what the scientists are coming back and saying that quarantine didn't really help a lot. It helped on the margins. So, you know, and there was a lot of suffering from the quarantine, financial suffering, emotional suffering, psychological suffering, the mask wearing. I don't know what was right or wrong. I do know, but I'm not 100% certain. I look back, I say probably quarantining probably wouldn't have mattered. Mask wearing, I just hope we can get back to normalcy, because the amount of suffering, not only just from people who got sick from COVID, but the amount of suffering from the financial losses and psychological and emotional damage, kids not going to school, having to wear masks.
Yeah, missing out on graduation.
Yeah, just everything. I just so to me, when the United States is saying we're ready to get rid of mask mandates, to me that's saying we're ready to get back to normal, and we have not been to normal in 2 years.
Yeah, that's a big step towards getting to normal.
Yeah. All right. You ready for some hump day?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We have some camels. La Yo-Yo is ready. La Yo-Yo's ready, camels. La Yo-Yo. There he is. It's hump day.
It's hump day. It's hump day.
Now, Yo-Yo, I have not looked at any of these hump day stories yet. I don't know what we got in store. I don't know. Let's see what's going on a hump day today. See what they gave us.
All right, let's see.
All right, so Adidas, they're going to soon debut a new sports bra line. One of its advertisements doesn't show the bra at all. Instead, Adidas tweeted a photo grid of 25 pairs of breasts, all in their natural glory. I haven't seen this. Are they allowed to tweet naked breasts? The sports apparel company pinned the ad to its... Where? Let me see again. Put it up.
That one is blurred out.
It's all blurred out. Is that why?
Blurred out. Yeah, but it wasn't blurred out in the actual post.
Really? We blurred it out because we are a family show. Even on hump day.
Yes.
Now I'm surprised Twitter allowed that, because you're not allowed that on Instagram.
Twitter has freak Twitter, so they have a lot of porn on Twitter as well.
Oh, so Twitter, they allow it then?
Yes.
I'm rarely, I think I've been on Twitter 3 times in my life. I didn't even know Twitter had porn on it. All right, so they allow it on Twitter.
Yes, Twitter has.
All right, the sports apparel company pinned the ad to its Twitter page last Wednesday under a link that connects to the bra collection for anyone who makes it that far. The ad's tagline, support is everything. Adidas, it's a great advertising campaign. Advertising bras, and there's no bra, it's just boobs.
Yeah.
Great advertising campaign.
You're showing different types of breasts. You know, some you can tell they had motherhood. So like, you know, you have some that are perky, some that are big, some that are small. So support is everything. It doesn't matter the size, what it looks like. It's everything. I think it's awesome.
I think it was certainly good publicity and advertising. Some Twitter users, mostly women though, said that they would have preferred to see the bra instead of the breasts so they could see what they're buying. Makes sense. Others said the ad was inappropriate, or that it caught them off guard and confused them. And some users said it was bold and applauded Adidas. Is this a good marketing ploy or way over the top? Yo-Yo, you think it's good?
I think it's good, but it is kind of over the top when you think about just the youth that are, that might come across it, or like people who aren't comfortable with seeing a naked body. So like, that's a little aggressive with it, but I do think it's definitely an amazing marketing tool, because we're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it.
Adidas said in a statement that the gallery was designed to highlight why tailored support is paramount. I mean, it's a bunch of BS. They did it to get buzz, and they got some buzz.
Yeah. See, like, when it comes to big brands like this, when they say stuff like that, I'm like kind of iffy about it. But like when you have people like Rihanna, who has Savage Fenty, and her main goal, like the purpose, is to be inclusive for people of all walks, and they could be trans, they could be big, small, special. It doesn't matter, and that's what she wants to promote. I don't know if that's really Adidas what they trying to do, or if that was just for the marketing. I don't know.
Meanwhile,
but it's inclusive.
Meanwhile, this is quite interesting. A woman is taken to TikTok claiming she caught a male plane passenger watching porn as his girlfriend was sleeping next to him. The footage appeared to show the man in question watching a porn video featuring two scantily clad women as opposed to hardcore pornography. However, Prudente, she's the woman who filmed this man watching the porn, insisted that he was also watching Pornhub on the plane ride and presumed the female passenger sitting next to him was the girlfriend. She captioned the video, "It was more explicit. TikTok is not just what he was watching right now." She added the hashtag trust no guy. Prudente's video sparked outrage, with many females shocked by the man's behavior. One woman wrote, "If you don't respect your girlfriend, just say that," appearing to imply that the man had humiliated his partner by watching the video. Another person said, "You should have woke her up and handed her your phone with the video playing," another viewer wrote. However, others insisted that there was nothing wrong with the man watching porn, even if he was in a relationship. Maybe they have a healthy relationship and she knows what he's watching. Therefore, he doesn't have to hide or be sneaky about anything. Another said, "My husband goes to the strip club. He still comes home at the end of the night. It's not deep."
There you go.
Meanwhile, others turned on the nosy TikToker, accusing her of invading the man's privacy. What do you think, Yo-Yo? You think it's okay for the man watching porn on the plane with the woman who presumably is the girlfriend or wife sitting next to him and sleeping and not knowing?
Absolutely. How do you know that she doesn't know?
We don't. We just know she's sleeping.
But what we do know is it's none of our business.
Correct.
Like, that's his phone. That's his relationship.
Correct.
I think it's sick when people why are you recording? Like, if you have to hide to record somebody, then obviously that means you shouldn't be recording them.
Exactly. What he and this woman do, whether he does it behind her back or in front of her, that's between the two of them. And
Exactly.
she's not the woman's mother or the woman's friend. She's just some stranger.
Nothing. Exactly.
I think you have a valid point, Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
LA, all your points have been right on today. LA's doing something with you out there. La Yo-Yo, on point.
A lot.
Yeah, I think you're right. What is this woman's business?
Yeah.
You think it's cheating? Do you think it... I don't, people say, is it cheating watching porn? It depends on what your relationship is with your significant other. It depends what's comfortable within the relationship and what your parameters are. So
I personally don't think it's cheating, because I know for a lot of people who are in relationships, especially if they're long distance relationship, instead of let's see how we could say this, instead of accepting an offer to meet up with somebody,
right,
you can release your stress
some other way
and handling your business.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, a lot of people actually use that so they don't go out and cheat. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think it depends what your boundaries and parameters are between you and your significant other. So it's based on what you as a couple say, this is acceptable, this is not. And what's acceptable to one couple may not be acceptable to another couple. So I think it all has to do with boundaries and, parameters.
Yeah, I agree.
But tell this woman to mind her own freaking business.
I say the same thing.
And by the way, Nick Cannon, our friend Nick, who had two babies within a week of each other with two different women, he got a very surprise. Did you see what he got for a surprise gift? Was this his Valentine's Day gift? It was a Valentine's Day gift. Somebody, an anonymous person, sent him a vending machine full of Magnum condoms.
Yeah, him and Kevin Hart always do these funny, like, little pranks on each other. They're not really little pranks.
Those are expensive pranks.
They're expensive pranks. I was about to say they're expensive pranks.
You think it's Kevin Hart? And it's never come out, and they didn't come out and say who it was. But most people think, they do say it's Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is Kevin Hart. They've gone back and forth. He went and plastered his face all over Kevin Hart's private jet. Kevin Hart put his phone number all over on a billboard in LA. Like, that's expensive stuff.
That is. So Kevin Hart wrote on his Instagram, he did admit it. He said, gift at Nick Cannon. Now you don't have an excuse because the condoms are free. That's hilarious.
It's true.
That is very funny. And here's something interesting.
Huh.
I don't know if it's interesting or what. In 2020, Teresa Rose wanted to celebrate her husband's birthday by engaging in a threesome with another woman because that's what her husband wanted. Her husband was always asking her, "Can we do a threesome? Can we do a threesome? Can we do a threesome?" So finally, for his birthday, she agreed, "We'll do a threesome." And she told the New York Post that experiencing this intimate interaction with a woman for the first time was like, "Oh my God, this is what I've been missing." So what happened is that she had this threesome with her husband and then left the husband for the woman that she was having the threesome with.
Woo. That's deep.
That is deep.
That is deep. But I mean, it happens. And hey, he's the one who wanted it.
Yeah.
That was a gift for him. So,
Now,
you're taking your risk. You're taking risk when you bring in a third person in.
Now, she's among a growing number of women leaving their husbands for other women. Many of them have been high-profile romances. Former Real Housewives of Orange County star Bronwyn Wyndham Burke came out as gay in 2020 as well.
Oh, is that the one who still has a girlfriend, but she kept her husband?
I don't watch the Real Housewives. I don't know.
No, I was reading about it. She's still married to her husband while keeping an intimate relationship with her girlfriend.
This is different. This is the Real Housewife.
Yes, of Orange County.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's a throuple. No, it's not really a throuple because she's having a relationship with two different people, but the man's not having a relationship.
Right.
Everyone's so weird these days.
It's a situationship.
It's a situationship, exactly.
Yeah.
I would be extraordinarily jealous.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah, like I say, it's a very big chance that you're taking whenever you add anybody into your private life. So, but they're happy at least,
Yeah.
She feels like this is what she's always had crushes on girls. So, now she feels like this is what's supposed to be.
All right. I think it's very trifling for the guy. He's like, "Yes, I got my birthday gift." What?
And lost his whole family.
I lost his whole family.
Sheesh.
It's a good lesson.
It's a great lesson.
It's a very good lesson. What is it? A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush, right?
Yeah. Yes. That's perfect.
Perfect analogy, right?
Yes.
All right. So, by the way, February 2022 is Snow Moon. What is Snow Moon? Perfect for Valentine's season?
Tonight.
The Snow Moon will rise above the earth tonight on February 16th, 2022. The Snow Moon was originally named because February is, on average, the snowiest month of the year, and this is the day in which there is a full moon. So on this same full moon day, Mars, the planet of passion, and Venus, the planet of romance, are uniting in the sky. That's why they're calling the Snow Moon the sex and love moon. It's often a sign of soulmate connections entering your lives as we pursue romance, dating, and sex. We have Snow Moon and Mars and Venus uniting in the sky. It's very rare that this happens. It's tonight, February 16th, 2022. At 11:59, that's when the Snow Moon will reach its fullest.
Woo.
At 11:59, if you're awake, Yo-Yo, you should be calling somebody. I don't know who.
Right.
Making a telephone call. Like the snow moon. It's the snow moon is at its peak. Hey,
Yeah.
You're like, hey, babe, the snow moon's at its peak.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah.
So let's see what the horoscopes for us, because Mars and Venus. Yo-Yo, you're in Aries,
I'm an Aries.
right? What day is your birthday?
April 2nd.
April 2nd. I'll tell you what the horoscope for your snow moon tonight says.
Okay.
It says, Yo-Yo, prepare to unleash your passions and roar. The snow moon will electrify your heart, spirit, and your loins. This is one of the best times of the year to recharge your love batteries. So if you're single, Yo-Yo, you go out there and you mingle. Committed Aries can enjoy a whirlwind romance with their sweetheart. So make plans for a very special date. Last and certainly not least, if looking to conceive, Yo-Yo, if you want little yo-yos, tonight's your night. Tonight's your lucky night. Look at that face.
Don't you dare.
All right. And I am a Libra. I'm a Libra.
They say for Libra.
I'm September 27th. It says, light the fireworks, Brad. You're the main event.
Woo!
Prepare to be surrounded by many people who love, worship, and adore you. A major social event will likely pop up on your radar tonight. Single Libras will have a great chance to meet someone new or date within their network. This is your snow moon year. Committed Libras can dust off their hottest outfits and circulate amongst town.
Brad,
Wow.
are you going out tonight?
No, I wasn't planning on going out, but now that I read my horoscope, I think I should.
I think you should too, and come back tomorrow and let us know.
Well, you know, Yo-Yo, I mean, what they say about you, you know, it said, you know, light the fireworks. It says, Yo-Yo, you're the main event. No, that was me.
No, that's
it said,
for you.
you are prepared to
It said-
unleash your
it said-
passions and roar.
Rawr.
All right, that's our hump day for today in TikTok time. In this edition
my
of TikTok time, I answer questions about giving birth in the United States, biometrics, green cards, and adjustment of status. Let's watch. If you were pregnant and you were just intending to visit and then there was a medical complication and you had to stay to give birth, well, that's a different story because you didn't make a misrepresentation when you came. You were not coming to give birth. Something happened after you entered America. You cannot request to move your biometrics earlier. You can request an expedite of your work permit or even your entire green card case based on humanitarian reasons, but not expediting your biometrics. The work permit or the green card only. Your U.S. citizen children cannot help you get a green card until they turn 21. Then they can file for you. So unfortunately, you'll have some years to wait if you want your children to help you. You need to file an adjustment application, which is an I-485, an I-130, I-130A, I-864 affidavit of support, and I-765 for her work permit, I-131 for advanced parole, adjustment of status. Now, Yo-Yo, everyone in the comment section wants me to read out their horoscopes for the snow moon.
Yeah, this is hilarious. They are like...
All right, I'm going to read out everybody's horoscopes. If you're a Taurus, see a florist. No, it says if you're a Taurus, it's time to nest, Taurus. The snow moon will be encouraging you to snuggle up at home and over a romantic candlelit dinner. Tauruses may be in the process of moving, changing their living space, or even hosting a dazzling home event. If you'd like to make any changes to your home in the year, today under the snow moon is the time to do it for Taurus. For Geminis, you speak your truth, Gemini. The snow moon is turning up the volume on your thoughts, ideas, and words. People's ears are perking up to hear what you have to say. Some Geminis could be in the process of releasing a milestone. In writing, speaking, advertising, and communications, a contract may pop up for you to sign, Gemini. Cancer, wealth is calling your name under the snow moon. It's bringing a bountiful shift to your finances, a new job, side hustle, big check coming your way. because of the snow moon. For Cancers, Leos, better step into the spotlight. You're on the runway. The snow moon will ignite your spirit and give you the courage to roar louder than ever before. Virgos, it's spa time. Bust out your mud masks, lotions, and scented candles because it's time to treat yourself to some nice relaxation under the snow moon. And Scorpio, become crowned in glory, victory, and drama. Everyone's watching your star skyrocket. The snow moon could bring a significant achievement or victory your way. Oh my God, these are a lot of horoscopes to read. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into here.
I was just going to send the link.
Yeah, Sagittarius, I might as well finish. Sagittarius, let your spirit sing. Your mind and soul will be energized under the snow moon's energy like a booster rocket to pursue your growth. Capricorn, take a deep look at your relationships. The snow moon says you need to find some truth. Capricorn, somebody's screwing with the Capricorns. Right. Aquarius, are you growing closer? Are you going separate ways? The snow moon will bring a major focus to your partnerships and relationships. This is all happening tonight, yo-yo, because of the snow moon. And finally, Pisces, prepare to be quite busy. The snow moon is energizing you to assess your work-life balance and streamline your productivity. There is everybody's horoscope on Hump Day for the snow moon. You ready to do some meat and potatoes? Why not? Let's do it. Melanie, you're on from Florida. How are you?
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Melanie. What's going on?
I have two questions. Can you file only the I-130 and the I-130A?
You got to speak up, Melanie. I don't hear you.
I'm saying, can you file only the I-130 and the I-130A status and then file the other documents after?
You can if you want to, but by filing the I-130, you're talking about filing an I-130 now and then doing an adjustment in a future date?
Yes, I'm doing parts of the adjustment.
Okay. Why is it you have an issue with the filing fee? Why would you be doing parts?
Yes, it's in the filing fee.
Okay. So you can file an I-130 visa petition to start with the I-130A. That's $535. It's not going to get you anywhere. All it's going to do is get you an approval notice, but it's not going to give you any benefits. Personally, I would rather see you wait 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, put together the $1,760 for the full adjustment, save your money slowly, and just file it one time. Because filing it in parts is just going to make it go longer. Ultimately, it's not going to get you any benefits in the short term.
One more question.
Yeah.
If someone got married before the 90-day rule, but then sending their paperwork to the court's office until a year after, is that considered miscommunication?
It's very possible what their intention, because they're going to say your intention was to get married. You came to the U.S. to get married, even though you filed your adjustment 1 year later. Your intention was to get married. It's possible. Now, there's a rebuttable presumption. What the rebuttable presumption says is that if you got married between day 31 and day 90, the law presumes you intended to get married, but you can talk your way out of it. It's rebuttable, meaning that we presume you came here to get married. You rebut that presumption. Yeah, I didn't come here to get married. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. And if you can tell a good, credible story about that, then you may rebut that presumption and be okay anyway.
So thank you so much, Brad.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Nordia in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Hello?
Hi, Nordia.
Yes, hello, good night.
Good night.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, I had a situation in 2017. I get denied. And I get denied my application. And they said to go home, and I never go home. And the day of the interview, they separated us. He got arrested, and my case get denied. He withdrew the petition. Do you think they have a fraud on me?
Why did he get arrested?
He had a criminal background.
Okay, but
I
that's
did
not
not
a
know
fraud.
all
That's not
that.
a fraud on you. And when you say they asked you to leave, did you go see an immigration judge, or did you just got a letter saying leave the country?
I called the immigration judge, and he was saying, "Oh, the best thing you can do is just try again."
No, the immigration judge didn't tell you that.
No, not the immigration. I'm sorry. My lawyer
Okay,
said
fine.
that.
All right.
But
So-
I never see no judge. I don't
Okay,
see
fine.
no
So it
judge.
doesn't seem like you got ordered deported. You just got a letter from the government saying your case denied, leave the country. But that's not deportation.
So you don't think
your
I have no
husband-
fraud?
Well, let me go through it all. Your husband, him getting arrested, has nothing to do with fraud. The only fraud would be, and I don't know if it's there or not, is if the government believes that you were in a fraudulent marriage with this man. The fact that he got arrested doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he went and said stuff to them, you know.
Okay, but maybe he's a liar. Was this a real marriage, or it's not a real marriage?
This was real.
Okay, so then he's a liar. So you got to prove he's a liar in the future. That's all. It's possible that. Did you ever divorce him?
I just did it last year.
Why do you think he lied?
Huh?
Why do you think he lied and he went and said this is not a good marriage when it is? Why do you think he did that?
I think he's trying to get himself out of the arrest.
Okay, and by him lying, how does that help him?
No, they still lock him up.
Was there any abuse in the relationship?
Not really, only like verbally.
Okay. Well, you know, you may have a Vawa emotional abuse case if there was verbal abuse on a regular basis, and as part of the emotional abuse, your husband was trying to get you deported by lying on you. Possible, something you should look at, and then do it on your own. But you have only 2 years from the time of your divorce, so you have probably less than a year to do it.
Okay, so I have less than.
All right, you need a consultation.
Question.
You need a consultation.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to Michelle in Fort Lauderdale.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay. Quick question. My sister filed for my mom, but my mom is in the United States. She has overstayed her B1 visa, and now the NPC has sent her interview to be done in Jamaica. What can she do now?
Write the NVC, say she's going to adjust her status, return the file to USCIS, take the approved I-130, attach it to an I-45, pay the adjustment fee of $1,225, and adjust her status in the United States.
Okay. All right. A waiver could be done for her to go back to Jamaica, though?
No. There's no waiver for U.S. citizen filing for mother.
Okay.
If she went home, she'd get stuck for 10 years. The only thing she has is the adjustment. That's what she does.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to Gabrielle in Allen, Texas.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I filed a Vawa petition in 2018. Sometime this year, last year, it got denied based on the divorce I got from my country from my previous wife. So I filed a 290B motion to reopen.
Right.
And I quoted on the 290B that it was a misinterpretation of law that the divorce is valid. So the case was reopened about 13 days ago. So I'm kind of worried. I don't know how long it's going to take.
The reason why your VAWA case was denied is saying you were bigamist, you're not legally married to your wife. And they're claiming, USCIS is claiming that your divorce was not, where are you from, Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay. They're claiming your divorce from Nigeria is no good. I've never, in the last 4 years, seen where USCIS says that's a valid divorce from Nigeria. They claim every divorce from Nigeria is not valid. Now, for you to make an argument that the divorce is good is not enough. You need proof this divorce is good. So you need to get that divorce authenticated. And I'd go to the Nigerian consulate or speak to the Nigerian consulate about authenticating this divorce and proving it's real.
Yeah, I did all that. I did an affidavit.
Okay, so then wait to see
It wasn't really saying the divorce wasn't good, but because I quote in the first affidavit
I don't
I
care
wrote.
I don't care what you quote and what you wrote. I'm telling you what immigration.
No. What he said was, I didn't state it in my affidavit that the dowry was returned. That it is the dowry that brings a separation with native
I
marriage.
understand that there are certain requirements that have to be written in the divorce for it to be valid. So what USCIS was saying is that however the divorce was written, that's not how a divorce is written for a Nigerian divorce. So they were picking out specific things about a dowry, whatever. But there's specific things that need to be written in the divorce, and it has to be done in a specific manner. And if it's not, USCIS says it's not a real divorce. So again, you need to get it authenticated. If you get it an affidavit by you saying it's good is not enough. You need it authenticated. But if they reopen the case, good for you. Okay, that's a good sign.
Okay.
All right. Good luck.
So, do you know how long I have to wait?
I have no idea how long you have to wait. The case is reopened. Somebody's going to look at it now. All right. Wait at least 120 days. Hold on. Let's go to Allison in Philadelphia.
Hi. Thank you so much. Oh, good. How are you?
Good.
Right. My question is, I filed for divorce shortly after my husband came to the U.S. with his 2-year conditional green card. We've since reconciled since then, and the divorce has been pending with no action for 3 years.
Okay.
I was wondering if this will affect our upcoming interview. Like, should I withdraw the request?
Withdraw the divorce, number one. And so if you're not fully divorced, then you are a couple that had a rocky relationship that's worked it out. And you go in and you're together and it's a real marriage. Rocky, but real. Just withdraw the divorce.
Great. And then another quick question.
Yeah.
We're filing for bankruptcy in the next few months. Will this affect his immigration status?
No, filing for bankruptcy has no effect on immigration.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much for taking my call.
My pleasure. Good luck.
All right. Thank you.
Let's go to Callie in Brooklyn. Callie.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for taking my call.
Okay, what's going on?
I have a couple questions for you. Okay, I came here in 2001, March of 2001 to be exact. And I had my son in July. And then...
So you came to the U.S. pregnant and had your son a few months later?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the thing is, I came on a B1 visa, but a visitor's visa, but I was supposed to go back September the 30th, and then September 11th happened.
Of course, right. Okay.
So I kind of, didn't want to get on a plane and all that stuff, so I stayed here, raised my son. I had his brothers. One of my sons died in a DUI crash.
Sorry to hear that.
My second son.
All right, but this first one who was born in 2001 should be 21 years old now.
He's 21 and he's in the Navy now.
Perfect. Do you have a green card?
Yeah. Huh?
You have a green card?
No, I didn't start anything. I didn't know.
Start right now. Your son who's in the Navy is going to file an adjustment application for you. 21 years later, it's time to get a green card.
Okay.
All right. And he earns enough income in the Navy to give you the affidavit of support. And being in the Navy, you only have to show 100% of, you have to show he's at the poverty level. You don't have to show 125% above the poverty level. So let him file an adjustment for you. The fact that you overstayed your time, the fact that you worked here undocumented for 21 years is not going to prevent you from getting your green card.
Okay.
As long as you don't have a criminal record. Hold on, we can help.
No, I have no criminal record. I wanted to ask you another.
Sure.
Being that my son passed away in 2014, I did start a U visa process, but can my son file for me anyway?
Yes.
Because taking forever.
Your visa takes forever, correct.
Mm. Okay.
All right. So, yeah, let him do it, and you should do it now.
But he'll be 21 in July.
So, in July, that's when you're going to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
On his 21st birthday, it goes in. Hold on. Let's go to Michael in Port Jervis, New York.
Hello, how you doing, man? Number one, I want to say thank you for reading them Snow Moon horoscopes. I know it was a lot to do.
Everybody was asking for it, so
I was like, man, I hope he reads. I hope he reads and you did, man. I appreciate you for that.
What's your sign?
I'm Aquarius, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna have to bring back horoscopes again. People loved it.
Yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. So thank you for taking my call. So my father was deported to Nigeria 30 years ago for a drug charge, and I'm looking to bring him back. One of the issues is he's not on my birth certificate.
But if he has a drug charge, he'll never come back.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. What did he have a green card?
Yes.
Okay, what was the drug charge?
I believe it was a distribution charge, distributing.
Okay, yeah. If you have a distribution, you're convicted of drug trafficking, he will never, I'm being frank and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but he will never come back to the U.S. Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
All right, man. Thank you for taking my call, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
the only way is to vacate the conviction, but it's going to be impossible to vacate a conviction after you got deported because he's in another country. You can't vacate convictions out of the U.S.
Right. He can't fight it because he's not here.
Correct.
All right, man. But thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, appreciate it.
I enjoyed the show.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go to Tamara in Bronx. Hi, Tamara.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how you doing? I need to find out, my son, he's a citizen and he's 23 years old, but I don't have any proof of entry.
Okay, how'd you come to the U.S.?
On boat.
On a boat? Okay. Yeah. And in all the years you've been here, have you ever filed for a green card before?
No, I've been here about 20 years now.
Okay. Where is your mom and dad?
My dad is living in Florida. My mom is here. My mom has a green card. She had a 3 years when she got a green card.
How did she get her green card?
Her son filed for her.
And what about your father? What's his status?
He's a citizen. He lives in Florida.
How did he get his green card?
His wife filed for him.
His wife was a citizen or a resident?
Citizen. She's American. She was born here.
But the wife never filed for you?
No.
Okay. And is anybody in your family in the military?
My uncle's son.
Okay, that's too far removed. Is one of your children willing to go in the military?
My son. I could talk to him.
Yeah, because this is your situation. All right? You entered without inspection. If you entered without inspection, in order to adjust your status here, you're going to need one of two things. Either one, your 245I, which means that you had an application filed before April 30th, 2001, either through you or a parent, and that didn't happen as I asked all those questions. Or you have a spouse, parent, or son or daughter who's in the military or former military. It could even be the Army Reserves. It doesn't have to be full-time military. And then you can apply for something called parole in place, which allows you to adjust your status.
Okay, but can I do it? Can it be done without me have to go back home to collect anything?
You would get everything here. Correct.
And how long will it take?
Parole. If someone joins the military, parole in place takes about 6 months, and then an adjustment will be about a year. In 18 months, you'd have a green card.
Okay, yeah, you know me because I have a case on me before. Plus, you saw you were the lawyer on my brother's case,
okay.
And he's good. So, is it best I could come in and speak with you?
Of course, hold on.
Okay, one more thing I want to ask you. Sure. I have another person. They're in the same situation. They don't have any proof of entry, but they came on another passport and they don't have that passport.
Who are you talking about?
No, a family member.
Okay, that's a different story because that's a misrepresentation. So we would need to have a consultation with that person as well.
Is that possible they can get through if they have a child here? Is that what you mean?
No, because if you came and made a misrepresentation, you would need a spouse or a parent to do a waiver.
Okay, so I could come in and speak with you?
Yeah, hold on. Jay in Columbia, South Carolina.
Hi, Brad. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. I must tell you, though, before I go in a mouthful, how much you make my night.
Oh, thank you.
You and your team, Yo-Yo. You know, I
but
work
he's
as
not Yo-Yo today. He's La Yo-Yo because he's in L.A.
Over in L.A. I must tell you, I work as an EVS assistant in the emergency department, and boy, you make my night.
Oh, thank you.
You know, with the varieties, and congratulations to you.
I appreciate that. I'm really happy that, you know, when I was off the air, you don't know how many text messages and DMs I get from people all day long saying, we miss you, when you're coming back. It makes me feel good because I'm like, wow, you know, people enjoy this. So thank you very much for calling and letting me know, because it's just re-energizes me to keep doing this. So thank you.
Yes, man. You're bonding lives and shaping lives, and congratulations to you. Yes. I have a little question here, quickly, because I'm at work. I filed for my adopted son in 2019, and at that time I was a permanent resident. Mm-hmm. And I must also tell you too that I became a citizen in January.
Okay.
Thank God. Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you. And so I filed for him. I adopted him in 2017.
How old was he when you adopted him?
He was on this. I got through before his 16th birthday.
Is there a time that you ever lived with him in the same home?
Okay, so let me tell you fast.
Okay.
I raised him. I have him. Well, my husband and I, but he passed. We were the one who adopted him. He was raised in my home from he was 1 year and 6 months.
In Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
When did you immigrate to the U.S.?
I immigrated to the U.S. in 2016.
Okay, so you lived with him for many years before you came.
Yes, until now he's still at my home.
Good. Okay, so what's the issue today?
But anyways, I didn't have legal custody of him.
But that's fine, because legal custody starts on the day of adoption, and you adopted him more than 2 years ago.
Yes, right. I adopted him in 2017, and I filed waited until 2 years after.
You qualify.
Right.
What's the problem?
However, though, I only got the notice of receipt, and there's nothing more. And I make attempts many times, and the rigmarole in calling over now.
Does immigration? How old is he now, your son?
Well, March coming in will be 21.
Okay. Does immigration know that you're a citizen when you filed this?
Yes, I called them and update my status. That
you got a letter saying that they now know you're a citizen.
They said that I will get it in the next 2 weeks from now.
All right. So you're going to ultimately get an RFE at some point. You may want a lawyer to take it over. If it's been pending now for a couple of years, that's unreasonable, especially if you're a citizen. And the RFE, I don't know what you submitted with the application, but what you will need to prove is, one, this adoption happened before his 16th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
2, it was more than 2 years that you filed the I-130 from the time of the adoption, because you needed the 2 years legal guardianship.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3, that for at least 2 years before you immigrated to the U.S., you and him lived in the same home. You need evidence of all 3 of those. And he's an immediate relative because you became a citizen before he's 21. So even if he turns 21, he's still going to be considered under 21. So if all goes well, hopefully by the end of the year, he's here.
Yes, because they told me that, it's way out of processing time.
It is. So that's why I think at some point you're going to need a lawyer to either threaten a mandamus or actually file one. Because when you're out of processing time, that's out of processing time equals mandamus time.
Yes. Yes. They say, and the next thing when I...
By the way, they doesn't mean anything because you're calling somebody on a phone that doesn't even work for USCIS. They're outside contractors. So it's worthless speaking to them.
they let someone talk to me and said that
worthless.
it is at the it says at the what do you call that? It's at the adjudication desk, because that's where all those paperwork
it means that it's on somebody's desk to look at.
Right. And I need him to be up because his father, my husband.
It's time to get a lawyer. It's time to get a lawyer. Hold on. I'm being truthful.
Thank you so much, Brad.
Let's go to Emmy in Katy, Texas. Or Caddy, Texas.
Hi,
Hi, how are
Brad.
you? How you doing?
Very well. Thank you for taking my call today. I'm excited.
My pleasure. What can I do to help?
Yes. I hope I'll be able to put this together. Brad, I have 3 kids, and we initially filed I-130 and I-485. Those were denied based on abuse, and I filed Vawa, which I just got approved January 27th. And before then, they had denied my I-485 and my 3 children's own.
Okay.
And my own was reopened.
How old are your children?
11, 13, and 15.
All right. So forget about what. Let me ask you a question. Why did they deny the last adjustment?
Yes, the first time we went for the interview, my husband was incarcerated.
Okay.
So I went there and I said he couldn't appear until he comes out. Then the second notice, I didn't get it, and my lawyer had written to them that none of us got the notice. So they went ahead and denied it. But before then, we applied for the I-485 to be placed on abeyance, right?
But it was denied.
No, is it?
But your adjustment was denied, though.
Yeah, it was denied, but we applied for it to be reopened, and it was reopened. At that time, Vawa was pending. The Vawa was pending.
I understand.
So right now, the Vawa has been approved, and my 2 children, 11 and 13, were sent on removal proceedings, while mine was reopened, and the one of 15 was denied.
All right.
So my question is this.
What's your question? I know what your question is. How do you fix your children?
Yeah, where do I file the I-485 for the 3 of them? I called immigration and they said I could go ahead and file for the one that was outrightly denied. And but I don't know what to do with the younger ones,
so the
11
one
and
that was
13.
outright denied, you're going to file an adjustment for as a derivative beneficiary. The 2 younger ones, did they ever go see a judge? Did they ever get a notice to see a judge?
Yes, they got a notice, and it was it's going to be April 7th. It's coming up
hearing.
April 7th.
Okay. So what you need representation. On April 7th, your lawyer will go to court with you and tell the judge that the derivative beneficiaries on an approved I-360, we want to file an adjustment. And the judge will either say, file the adjustment with me and I'll give them a green card, or I'm going to terminate their deportation and go back and file with USCIS.
Okay. What's the advantage of filing with the judge and immigration?
Depends on who's faster.
Yeah.
We'll see who's faster. It's up to, but you don't get the choice. The judge tells you what he or she wants you to do. And you say, yes, judge, thank you, and your kids will get a green card.
Okay. So the second question is, when I got the approval notice, they said I could go to the local office to pick up my Form I-485, but my husband is a U.S. citizen, before I filed this.
You don't need to go
pick up.
Know. If your adjustment application is open, eventually they will schedule you for an adjustment interview.
Okay, but the status has not changed yet, right?
Until you go for an interview and adjust your status, that's when you have a green card. You're on your way.
Okay, thank you. But for last question, I think, for an error on the approval notice, where do I send the correction to? Who do I call? Do I do it online?
What's the error? What's the error? What is the error?
Okay, they typed one of my children's names wrong, then her date of birth too was bad.
All right, don't worry about it. You'll fix it on the adjustment. You don't have to fix anything.
Okay.
All right. And by the way, we at Spartan Bernstein, just so you know, we handle cases in all 50 states because it's all done virtual now. So you can hire lawyers in all 50 states and represent you in Texas. Everything's virtual.
Oh, okay. I'll get back to you, Brad.
That's fine.
Really
I'm just letting you know. Okay. All right. Be well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank.
All right. Let's go to Sally in Los Angeles. Sally.
Hello, Brad. Do you remember me?
From where and how?
You call me Jerry Springer.
Oh my gosh! I remember you. You had some crazy story. What's back? I don't remember it, but I remember you with a crazy story.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, world.
Yeah. So
world.
What's your story today?
We went to the interview. This guy didn't even remember the questions what the lawyer asked him.
Wait, what?
He didn't realize, when the officer say, where did you get married?
Right.
He say, another state.
Who's getting the green card? Tell me what's going on again.
No, my husband is getting the green card.
Right. And you sponsored
him. He said, where did you get married?
And
he
doesn't
said, a whole
remember
nother
where
state.
he got married?
He doesn't remember the last 4 hotels we stayed in.
Why? What's wrong with
Because we got displaced.
Okay. So what happened at the interview? So what happened at the interview?
They didn't separate us. The lawyer went in the hallway with the officer. She said, I just need more proof that they're married.
Right. And then what happened?
He forgot 4 questions, and then that was it.
Okay. What happened? You went for an interview. The guy doesn't know where he got married. He didn't
We have
remember
to
your
get a
hotels
house.
you were living in.
He has no credit. He has no like reference of living somewhere for a period of time.
Right. So
we can't get a bank account together.
Sally, what happened? You went for the interview. You left. What happened? You told your husband, like, what are you, an idiot?
The lawyer said she wants proof that we're married.
Okay.
This guy forgot his name.
What did you say to him? He forgot his name. What is he, on drugs? What's wrong with him?
No, he had. I think he had something to drink that morning.
Oh my God!
And then I saw him drinking the day before.
Did you say to him, say, "Hey, what's wrong with you? What do you mean? You don't even know where you got married?"
Was it a church, you say, or was it a Justice of Peace? Oh, it was a big church. No, it was Justice of the Peace. What are you talking about? It was COVID.
So what was it, Sally? What was this interview?
What?
What was the interview?
Where?
When did you have your immigration interview?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, so now, what evidence are you bringing to your lawyer to prove you and your husband are in a real marriage?
He left his shot papers back at the vaccination office. They said they was going to mail them. And the lawyer looked, and the officer looked, mail them.
Sally, I don't even know what you're talking about now. What is...
Go ahead.
I understand the vaccination, but I'm trying to help you in all seriousness, all right? I don't want to make a joke about this whole entire thing. I want to help you. What documentation do you and your husband have at this very moment to bring back to your lawyer to say, hey, this is a real marriage? What?
We have everything.
So
we don't. He wants an insurance policy worth $100,000. I said, you crazy?
Then do it. Bring it back and get him his green card. By the way, what is your reason for the call today? You just want to rant?
I want to know, what if I just end this? Let's get out of it.
That's up
what
to
would
you.
happen?
He would get denied.
And go back home or what?
I don't know if he would go back home. At the moment, the Biden administration, unless he has a criminal record, is not going to deport him. No, they'll just deny him and they'll have to figure out another way. And you'll get divorced.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Because this is a waste of time.
This sounds crazy. Crazy. All right, crazy. That's all I got to say. Hold on. All right. Tamika in Pooler, Georgia.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good.
By the way, I think Sally needs her own show. She would need the Sally show. What's going on, Tamika?
Okay, so I have a friend. She's a registered nurse. She was filed for by a company here in America under the EB3 category. Now, her visa has been approved and it's sitting at the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica because the company keeps saying that they don't have a job for her. So she's just sitting and waiting. And there are many jobs here. So what I was wondering is if she could, because she basically has the visa is there for her. It's available.
But the job sponsor has to offer her a position. So
can she not switch her sponsor to somebody else?
She would have to start over from scratch.
Oh, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let's go to Brittany in Washington. Brittany.
Hi, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Awesome. So I was born in Trinidad to a U.S. citizen father and a Trinidadian mom. He wasn't present at my birth, so therefore, of course, he didn't sign the birth certificate. But I traveled dozens of times in my first 16 years to go visit him. So at 16, I moved up to the U.S. with my mom. I applied, I think, around my 18th birthday, got it 3 months after my 18th birthday.
Applied for
and I have renewed it on my green card.
Okay. Who sponsored you?
So, because at the time, my father.
Okay.
Because we were getting conflicting advice as to whether I was a citizen already or not.
You were.
So now, well, that's what we thought. So now, it's valid for another couple years because I already renewed it.
You got a green card incorrectly. They should have denied your green card because you're a citizen. You can't if you're a citizen, you can't get a green card. So what a citizen is if your father was living in the United States for at least 5 years before your birth, you're a citizen of the United States. And he's already proven you've already proven he's your father because they gave you a green card.
But what they were saying was that because we took the DNA test after I was 18, that I have to go through I had to go through that process. So at this point now, I have to get a replacement because it was lost in a fire. So I'm replacing my green card. Can I just go apply for a passport? Because that's the advice I'm getting right now from one of my lawyers.
I think you should get a passport. You're a citizen.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for doing this. People need this. Thank you.
You should file for a certificate of citizenship. That's the most important thing you should do, which is an N600.
So do I do that first, then go get a passport?
You can do both simultaneously.
Perfect.
But the reason why you do the certificate of citizenship is because it is the certificate of citizenship trumps the passport. It's USCIS will make the final determination if you're a citizen or not.
Okay,
so
and since
you need that certificate of citizenship.
Got it. And since I have to replace my green card, should I do that first, then apply for my certificate of citizenship, or it doesn't matter?
I don't think you should replace your green card because you're a citizen. I would apply for a passport and a certificate of citizenship simultaneously. Passport you'll get in 6-8 weeks, whatever it is. It'll be actually faster than getting the green card.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good luck. All right.
Bye.
Okay. Let's go to Camille in Caldwell, New Jersey. Camille.
Hello. Good night.
Good night. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for taking my call. I just have 3 quick questions.
Yes.
Is it safe for an undocumented person to get their tax ID?
Yes.
Okay. The next one. Can it use to work, the ID?
No, but you can use it to pay taxes.
Okay. The next one. Getting the tax ID undocumented, can it be a red flag for you in the future?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. By the way, if you were not lucky like Sally and the rest of the callers to reach me, you could always follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. You could drop me a DM. I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. At RealBradBernstein on Instagram. You could also follow us at Bradshaw Live. You follow us at Bradshaw Live. You don't like 2 hours of our show, you can handle 30 seconds of us. Follow us on Instagram at Bradshaw Live. You can also follow us on our fastest growing social media platform, TikTok. You can leave your immigration questions in the comment section or in the question and answer. If you're lucky enough for me to read it, I will answer it, but I can't answer all of them. There's like thousands of them every day. And I'll give you a personalized video answering your immigration questions, not but personalized for you, but the whole world sees it. Yo-Yo, what do you got? We don't hear you, Yo-Yo. There you go. Say that again, Yo-Yo.
You guys, okay, you guys could follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And later in the show, in honor of New York City Fashion Week, I will speak with fashion designer Odalys Marino about her journey to the United States from Cuba and reaching her American dream of having her design showcased in her first New York City Fashion Week show.
Yes, and on Monday we discussed the Day Without Immigrants campaign that was organized to disrupt Valentine's Day, one of the biggest capitalist holidays, by asking immigrants to refuse to attend work, spend any money, or even take their kids to school. Now, in order to make people realize the impact immigrants have on the United States, the campaign is pushing for reform from Congress for the 11 million undocumented immigrants currently living in the U.S. Peacefully protests were organized all over the country, and we actually shot some footage at the Times Square protest. So everybody, please check it out.
Social media check-in. You ready, Yo-Yo? I don't hear you now again.
How about now?
Now I do. Now I hear you. Let's do it.
All right, Jeanette de Rifond on Instagram. I applied for my husband. He's in Haiti. His case has been in DQ since December 2021. I found out about it while checking my case in NBC. I didn't receive any letters or an interview date. What should I do next? I heard you talk about whether K3 is eligible.
Well, you're not going to do a K3 at this point because he's already documentarily qualified. The only thing you can do is request an expedite if you have a humanitarian reason to do so.
Okay, Annalie Parker, VIP Facebook member. Every time I call and speak to USCIS Tier 1 officer, they say I will receive a call back in 30 days from a Tier 2 officer, and literally no one ever calls me back. It's been a year now that I've been calling and waiting for the return call and still no call. What can I do?
What do you need to speak to them about? They're not going to call.
Just saying.
They're not going to call you back, and you speaking to Tier 2 is not going to do anything. Maybe speak to a lawyer instead of waiting on Tier 2.
Okay, maybe this is it. It says, my little sister's in Jamaica. She used to live with her bigger brother and their grandmother, but the grandmother passed and the filing for her bigger brother came through. So he's now a U.S. citizen, or now he's in the U.S. Sorry, he's in the U.S. Her dad wants to now file for her. She's 14, and does not have anyone to stay with. Is that a humanitarian reason to expedite the case?
Yes.
Okay. Teja Gajar, VIP Facebook member. After the petitioner becomes a U.S. citizen, can we retain the priority date of the F2B category to F3?
No. If you got married before your parent became a citizen, that's the end of the case. Got to start all over.
Tolu Michael on YouTube. If I'm denied for a complete different reason given in Noid, then what should I do? What should the petitioner do?
Appeal or refile, depending on the situation.
Anil Gurung on YouTube. My grandmother is a U.S. citizen and my mother is married, has 3 kids, but now my mom is getting a divorce. Can my grandmother file for my mother's unmarried son and daughter?
No such thing as grandma filing for grandchild.
Camille Thomas on YouTube. Is it safe for an undocumented person to get a tax ID?
Yes.
Can it be a red flag when
it's
you're
not a red flag
for your papers?
Not a red flag.
Lampuala. Okay, Lampuala on Facebook. I did a legal name change when doing my citizenship. Can I change my name back to what it was before? And if so, how do I go about doing it?
You would have to go to a state court to change your name.
Okay, A. Lepic on YouTube. I received 2 interviews notices in the mail. The first one came on the 10th with my interview scheduled on March 1st. Today I received another letter with a different date, March 15th. Which one should I follow?
Go to the early one, March 1st, and say, hey, I got this thing for March 15th. What do you want me to do with it?
Okay, and last one, Victoria Black on Facebook. I want to apply for my naturalization under the 3-year married rule. A couple months ago, my husband received a letter stating that he owes the IRS. Will that affect my application?
No, because all you have to do is prove that it's a real marriage. But if you're doing citizenship and you owe taxes, then you have to, because you're filing a joint tax return with your husband, make sure you enter into a payment plan, and then you'll be okay. All right. In honor of New York Fashion Week, which is going on right now, we're throwing back to when I met haute couture designer Odalys Marino, who was in town from Tampa, Florida, for her first New York fashion show, presenting her Olympics collection. Odalys is originally from Cuba, and besides her beautiful designs, she also has an incredible American dream success story. Let's watch. Five, four, three.
Hey, Brad Squad. It is Fashion Week in New York City, and I'm in this fancy suite at the Palace Hotel, and we're about to meet Odalys Marino. She is from Cuba, and she's doing her first fashion show in New York ever. Welcome, and thanks for coming on. How long have you been a fashion designer?
For 3 years, I coming from the fashion designers. I present couples different collection in Miami Fashion Week for the last year, and I have the honor receive a couple invitation for coming to different fashion shows.
What did you do before this?
Economics from the university, from the heart designer. When I see the people love it, what I doing, I say, okay, I am in the right place. I want to continue with designer. I open my own boutique in Tampa, where I continue doing this, and that is the result today.
But that's your only boutique in the entire world?
Yes, I only have one boutique, Norris Boutique, because it's my mother's name. She's my inspiration.
You used your economics background to actually open up a business and know how to run a business, and you're using all your abilities that you learned as a child in Cuba in sewing and fashion, and you've put this all together.
I wanted other business, different completely, about numbers, now about making the lady more beautiful, more elegant.
Were you ever scared you were not going to be successful, or were you always 100% positive that in 3 years you would make it to New York Fashion Week?
Sometimes you feel a little scared, but honestly, I'm very positive person. When you put your heart in what you're doing, you know you go successful. I coming from Cuba, immigrant to this country, I don't have a penny in my package. I have twins, each of my son in my hand, working hard, giving college for my 2 sons, single mother. When you put your heart in there, you do it, believe me. you know.
You talked about immigrating from Cuba. How old were you when you came here?
When I come in this country, I have a 36-year-old. Everyone refugee from Cuba because honestly, I wanted my sons grow out be freedom. That is the only you thinking in this moment. Go looking for freedom, looking for better life, looking for something good for your sons. It's the really I come in this country.
You came here at 36. Tell me about what your life was like. You talk about freedoms.
My life in Cuba, I love it. I have the opportunity to grow up with very good parents, very good family. When coming bigger, the life change. Because in Cuba, you don't have freedom for nothing. You have to say what the government wants you do it.
Let's talk about your children's success. Did your dreams of your children having an opportunity come true?
One of my children is the general manager for Toyota in Tampa, and the other have the own business medical equipment cardiac edge. My dreaming coming true through my sons.
What did you do when you came to America?
The Catholic Church helped me with my sons for the 3 months. I have 3 different jobs, working in the morning in the medical office for part-time accounting. In the afternoon, I working in the beauty salon. Sometime in the nights, I cleaning. And my son is student and working.
Tell me what's involved in getting invited to New York Fashion Week.
The regular process for any designer is putting application and putting a lot of money out the package. That is not my case. Have the guys from the New York Fashion Week. He go to Florida Fashion Week. He see me one night. He invited me. He say that I want to see you in the next New York Fashion Week. I have invitation for London Fashion Week, for Milan in June. I have invitation in March to Bahama. I have too many invitation. Everything that I do it, I like to do it step to step.
And you're an overnight success. Really, in the fashion world, this doesn't really happen in 3 years. How does it feel to you?
I feel very nervous. It's unbelievable.
Tell us about these individual pieces that we're going to be seeing.
I have my inspiration from my vacations in Greece. When I visited Acropolis, my mind fly. Each dress, I have the inspiration in different goddesses. I buy the crowns, they use the Greece lady. The hairpiece is from Greece. I buy a lot of material, 100% silk, 100% cotton, a lot chantilly. I have the ladies from the academia help me sew. In this collection, the predominant color is white and gold. The collection is Olympus, Greek collection. But in general, I feel for elegant dress. I make leggings too, because I don't want a discrimination any lady. I want each lady feel a queen.
Do you design for men as well?
I design for men's casual, elegant shorts for Florida and blazers. I design for everyone.
Obviously, the high couture is very expensive. What price points are we looking at for different items?
This dress no have a price. The dresses for high couture, sometimes one dress 3 months, one lady sew, pitch a hand. But in my store, the regular price started in $45 and depend the price.
What are your expectations of what's going to happen with your career, your store, your fashion label after today?
I expect something very successful. I'm very sure each lady pick one. Each lady saw the collection say, that is me. That dress is for me.
Your first fashions that you were designing were Mommy and Me. Tell us a little bit about that.
Mommy and Me started for my mother. I make the same dress, the same, for the mother and the little. From the lady 1 year old to 12-year-old. These look fabulous. Everybody go to the store, crazy requests for these dresses. People love my collection.
So I understand you did a fashion show in Miami that you were inspired by something other than architecture. You were inspired by something else beautiful, old masters in art.
When I visited French, Italy, I have an inspiration in big masterpiece. I have one collection, the name is Art and Fashion. That collection is high couture. The masterpiece painting and put in the dress.
So you could have been wearing the Mona Lisa, for example.
I have it.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it's big. It's the Mona Lisa dress and have a other black dress with the Mona Lisa cape. I have the honor. The clothes, the fashion week with this collection.
You just mentioned to me that this is one of your creations that you're wearing right here. Wow, it looks beautiful.
This fancy jacket, everybody they say, oh my God, I want this designer, I want you to make it for me. This have a big history. My mother, with a large currency for materials in Cuba for creating my clothing, she used the potato, the bag for potatoes. When I go to Cuba, I bring the potato bag from Cuba. I use in my jacket.
Potato sack.
Potato, but this is still 100%.
Right, and then you have
the
that love.
Okay. This heart, only the half. I put it love here because in the back, you have the other half for my heart. My mother is another dimension, and that is my half the heart and the other half for her. That is the inspiration. I use material for what she used for me. Show you the love and respect for my mom.
Do you feel that you have reached your American dream? Do you still feel that there's more to achieve?
I say when you come into the big country, saying is God bless America, I say every day with respect, education, working, sacrifice, perseverance. Believe me, you coming very successful because that is the I feel for myself. Look at me today here. New York Fashion Week. One lady que coming 23 years ago with 2 keys in the hand, 0 penny in my package. You don't have clue what I live here with my sons. I don't want to remember this moment. When you thinking really you dream, believe me, this country is the big country in the world. Respect.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Appreciated your time, appreciated your interview because the dreaming for the immigrants coming through in United States.
All right, social media speed round. You ready? Let's do it.
Do it.
All right.
All right, let's make sure you can hear me.
I hear you. Let's do it.
Perfect. Should I wait for my I-130 approval before filing a waiver for entering without inspection? Oh, they're saying stop.
We're gonna do 10. I got it. All right, let's go.
Okay. Should I wait for my I-130 approval before filing a waiver for entering without inspection?
No.
Can a pending change of status F1 applicant study online courses and get certified?
No.
Is it okay that I'm applying for Vawa but don't have a lot of pictures?
Yes.
After filing adjustment for Vawa, how long for your green card to be approved?
At least a year.
Can I renew my green card with a disorderly conduct charge?
Yes.
Is Jamaica doing spouse interviews?
Yes.
Can a green card holder file for their mother who has a visa overstay?
Yes. No, your green card can't.
Does a DUI affect my base pay?
DUI does affect. Last one.
Can an undocumented person go to college?
I screwed it up. My fault. I deserve to get blown up.
Oh, man.
What was the last one? I screwed it up because a permanent resident cannot file for citizenship. That's what screwed it up. We had it. Yeah, and then I took back my answer because I gave the wrong answer. What was
Can an undocumented person go to college?
Sure. Damn. La Yo-Yo. See, Yo-Yo would have got it. La Yo-Yo, I don't know about La Yo.
La Yo-Yo was doing it.
La Yo, it was New York Brad that wasn't doing it.
Yeah, right. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Comments of the day.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Burrell Harris saying, I love your advice, Brad. You are God sent. Much respect.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, and our second comment of the day. Niak saying, so Sally made my night.
It's made a lot of people's nights.
Everybody likes Sally. All right, and our third comment of the day comes from Sasha Robinson saying, you better take Uncle Brad's advice. They filed everything one time for me, and I got everything. See, there's no 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Sasha saying you got it down with 1 time.
That's correct.
And our last comment of the day comes from Kwaku Anane saying, best immigration lawyer in the world. Big ups to the squad.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, La Yo-Yo, you're going to be in La La Land tomorrow as well. But it's Wacky Thursday. We'll be back to see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.